What's good, family? Roll with me as I fly to Baltimore, Maryland and Montreal, Canada to shoot 2 consecutive corporate events. Let's get it. What's good, family? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Really important. Get your passport and stop playing small. All right, y'all, part 2. Here we are touching down in Detroit for our layover. So here we are at the Detroit airport on our way to Montreal. Just another day in these corporate streets. Fun fact, man, this is the first time I've ever seen an airport that had an indoor tram to take you from terminal to terminal. It's pretty cool. So here we are. I guess there's this underground tunnel with lights and stuff. It's kind of cool. And of course, here we are on the jet bridge heading towards our final flight. It is 11:11 p.m. here in Montreal. We just touched down a little bit early and I am headed to baggage claim. My hope is that I can get into my hotel room by 12:30, and then I'm going to wake up at about 7, so I get about 6.5 hours of sleep. Might be able to grab a quick bite of breakfast, and then I'm going to literally 2-3 minute walk to the venue to go ahead and get day 1 started. Bright and early at 8 a.m. So yeah, guys, not too tired. Got a little nap on the plane. Got a little food in Detroit, my layover. So I'm feeling nice and content right now. I might just grab a bottle of water and call it a night. So yeah, I will check in with you guys once I make it to the hotel. And then after that, we're gonna get it started tomorrow. Let's get it. Now in part 1, man, what did I tell you guys about playing small? If you do not have your passport, this event does not happen. I am in Montreal, Canada for the first time because of my skills with a camera. Like, can you even believe that? I can't even fathom this a few years ago, being in Canada or any other city or state or country, because I can take pictures, y'all. Like, this is a dream come true. Here I am with my passport, y'all, getting my little slip. And we are in another country. Of course, y'all, you see my check bag, which just has clothes in it. Time check 11:23, and of course, my trusty Think Tank Airport Roller Derby, the goat of camera bags, man. Like, it's no contest. I'm trying to tell y'all, get one of these bags. All right, family, we made it. We made it. Woo! All right, so it is 11:57 p.m. and we are officially in our hotel room. I found a dope hotel, and man, I am just excited to be here in Montreal for the first time. Anyway, guys, I'm about to take a shower. It's been a very, very long day. I'm about to crash into this amazingly comfortable bed, but of course, you guys know I got to drop a little game in every video, and so even more game, y'all. It's easy, but it's hard, okay? It's easy in the sense that actually doing the photography part, once you get your reps up, once you've done this a time or two, it's not hard. Corporate photography is not difficult. Video, there's a little more skill involved, but even once you learn that, it's not difficult, but it's still hard. Because y'all, the hours are long. Traveling, once you throw in travel, you really have to be on your P's and Q's. Because you know, there's just so much that could, I don't want to say go wrong, but there's just so much you have to be aware of to make sure you can be on site and be where you need to be when your clients need you the most. But I wouldn't trade it for nothing, man. I wouldn't, if you saw that video I just dropped about why I stopped shooting weddings, I would still much rather be doing this than shooting a wedding. I really would, because like I said, I believe weddings are a little more mentally challenging than corporate work, but corporate work is just in and out. Let's get these keynotes, let's get these breakout sessions, let's capture these details, these candids, let's knock out this shot list, let's eat some food, right? Let's, once we're off the clock, maybe have a drink with your clients at the offsite or at the after hours networking party. And let's do it again next year or next week or next month or whatever the case may be. So I still stand by everything I said, y'all. I'm tired, but I would much rather be doing this. And so anyway, I'm going to call it a night, and looking forward to a great day one of this second gig here in Montreal. Good night. See y'all in the morning. But wait a minute, before I let y'all go, I just so happened to realize that my room is on the corner. I want to show you guys how close the venue is, if you'll be able to see it through the reflection in the window. All right, so I don't know if you can tell, but this is the building we're in, and my gig is this building right here. That's called the Evo. So literally, when I come downstairs, I have to walk here to that intersection and cross the street. So I mean, what, 3 minutes, maybe 4 minutes maximum. I'm even closer to this venue than I was at my last gig in Baltimore. And like I said, or I don't think I told you, but this hotel was about, I think it was $200 for a night. But that hotel was more than double. And I know that, depending on how much money you take home, I could have afforded to stay there, but this stuff starts to add up, okay? So you can't just be balling out. I mean, unless you just got a whole bunch of money sitting around somewhere. But if you're really trying to just only spend the money that you get from your clients, it all starts to add up real quick. So unless you have one of those clients that's also paying for the room, which does happen quite often, I would suggest getting as close as you can within walking distance, and you'll be surprised how often you could cut your costs in half, which is just going to put more money in your pocket. All right, guys, let's get it. All right, y'all, it's time to lock in. Quick time check, 8:18. Let's get this money. So just like most events, man, it's just going to be bread and butter, y'all. Candid interactions, handshakes, people listening to each other and having intense, thought-provoking conversations. Someone, handing out marketing materials, pamphlets. This is what corporate clients look for. And listen, if you go to my website right now, that's all you're going to see: smiles, handshakes, hugs, wide, medium, tight, keynote speeches, breakout sessions. Listen, this is corporate photo, right? It really doesn't get much better than this. And if you're watching this vlog or other vlogs and you feel like you can do what I'm doing, then hey, the bag is waiting for you. This could be you. Hey, what's up, family? It is 8:31 and I have already gotten some incredible shots of the opening kind of breakfast and networking part of the day. So I'm just gonna come over here and take me a little 5-minute break. As you just saw, just within like a 5-minute span, I mean, I've gotten several dozen great networking shots. And remember, I'm going to be in the same room with these same people for 8 hours. So I'm going to be getting crowd shots. There's going to be lunch plus 2 more like networking breaks. So again, like I said, you got to pace yourself. Don't just overdo it. The client hired you. This is true. But once they get the finished product, as long as the finished product meets or exceeds their expectations, they're not going to remember that you were over there sitting down in the corner. And honestly, this is a pro tip. If you want to make it seem like you're not just being lazy, don't just be in the corner on your phone. Check your gear, open your bag, switch out a battery. I don't want to say be fake, but Don't just be sitting here on your phone for an hour. You know, make it look like you're at least preparing for your next shoot or something, you know? Anyway, guys, I'll catch you guys a little bit later. Let's get it. So I wanted to give you an aerial view of the event. This one had quite a few attendees. Now, if you're wondering how I got this shot, y'all, my DJI Action 4, I put it on the selfie stick, held it above my head, and honestly, it looks similar to an indoor drone shot, right? This is all action footage. But just to kind of show you what the event looked like this is what you're gonna have to navigate when you're doing corporate photo. It could be even more packed than this sometimes. I'm talking about standing room only, just like you're in a club. But as long as you know what shots to get and how to navigate, man, this should be a piece of cake. Now, I wanted to show you guys something. Now, you see me standing far away with the larger focal range, but then I get closer and go wider. And I'm gonna put a pause on this right here, and I want you to tell me which image you like better. Do you like image 1 where you're standing a little bit further away? Or do you like image 2 where you're actually much closer but with a wider focal length? Now, for me personally, if I had to choose between one, I'm gonna always go for the closer shot with 35 millimeters. Why? Because me personally, and it might be subtle, it might be nuanced, and maybe you haven't thought of it, but me personally, man, I believe it just makes you feel like you're standing right there next to that person, right? It's what you would see if you were standing there, but standing that far away and, you know, zooming in, that's not what we naturally see with the eye. So for me personally, the image on the bottom is going to be a little bit more, a little bit more dynamic, right? But that's personal preference. However, keep in mind that as you're shooting, you know, you'll start to understand and learn when and where you should get what shots. When I think of networking, I think of 35 millimeters and a little bit closer. However, if you're in a packed room and you're trying to be more efficient, you may kind of choose to mix up the zooms versus, you know, the wider focal lengths. But like I said, if I had to choose one, I would choose image number 2. The question is, what would you choose, or what do you currently shoot and why? Anyway, let's keep it rolling. So again, guys, bread and butter, like bread and butter. Now, what I want you to notice is that with some of these images, you'll see people kind of glance over at me, but like I said, they're gonna glance at you quickly. They're gonna realize that you have a camera, and they're just gonna look away. So if you see people throughout this video kind of glancing at me, you see what I do, right? I don't move, I don't back down. I will sit there and marinate in that stance or position until I get the shot that I see in my mind. Because remember, I'm getting paid to take photos, not to make you feel comfortable. And like I said, these people have been to events before. Okay, they know the name of the game. So when you pull up and you have your camera, man, never feel like you are in the way. Remember, you're getting paid to take images. Anyway, guys, we are in the main hall, and we want to make sure we establish our go-to shots just in case we need to get a good solid shot. Now, again, you may recall that I've shot for this client before in my Miami video, and that screen is very heavily backlit at times. So for me, the best position is typically not going to be directly head on. It's going to be from either side. Now here, you'll see me walking back to the back of the room. And as you can see, I actually have my bags over here. This is where I come to rest in between shots. Now again, I wanted to show another aerial view of the room. This is a packed room. And honestly, your best bet's going to be to navigate both sides. You could walk up the middle. I'm not saying that you shouldn't, but for this particular event, I think the sides would probably be the best route. And like I said, y'all, bread and butter, getting these keynote shots from each side, just making sure we get exactly what that client is looking for. And here you're gonna see me walk over to the other side of the room just to kind of see what it's giving me for this particular speaker. Let's see what it looks like. Now, of course, you can see how heavily backlit he is.
And so it honestly, it kind of depends on what that screen is doing behind the speaker. If the image changes and it's not just a pure white background, it may be a little bit easier. But for now, because it's so bright, I'm actually having to overexpose just so I actually have him exposed correctly. That's okay if you're skilled at doing it. Quick time check, y'all. It is already 12:30. And if you'll notice, I actually decided to change my lens so I can still get the same shots without having to get closer. Now, you might think of this as lazy, but it is not. It is efficient. It allows me to get shots easier, faster, and without having to walk all the way up to the front of the room. Now, this is my Sony 70-200 f4, but because the stage is so well lit, that f4 is not going to be a hindrance on me getting good shots. Now, if this room was darker, I probably would not have switched to my 70-200. I would have stayed with the 35-150 because that one is a 2.8. And again, guys, we have a panel shot here. Just gonna get a few of these and we're gonna keep it pushing. Now, guys, you already know that at an event, you are likely going to be asked to do some sort of group shot, an award shot, a presentation shot. Notice how close I'm getting to the stage and to them. Whenever I'm doing these award shots, I always shoot 35mm and as close as possible. And it's typically not going to be full body. It's typically going to be from the waist up. Never get super far away. Always make sure you can see the people getting the award.
All right, y'all. So, quick update. My flight just got delayed by an hour, and my layover was an hour. So, there is a slight chance that I will not make it home tonight. My flight left from here at 6:30 p.m. It landed in Atlanta at 9:30. And then I had a 1 hour layover, and then I was going to go 10:30 flight from Atlanta to Houston, get home at 11:30. My flight got delayed by exactly 1 hour. So it says that I'm going to land in Atlanta at 10:39, and it says my flight leaves at 10:50. Yeah. So, unless my flight lands like 20 minutes early, I'm going to miss my flight, and I'm probably going to have to grab a hotel in Atlanta, stay the night, and then probably catch that early flight out in the morning, just so I can get home to the family. So, just a quick update. Right now, it is 2:27. And I just grabbed lunch, so I'm about to get some food in my stomach. I only have 2 more hours here at the event, and then your boy is out of here. So, these are the adventures of True Love Studio. So anyway, I'll let you guys know. I mean, we'll see. Hopefully, I will make it on my flight. The last time this happens, I literally had to sprint. I got off a plane, and I sprinted for about 5 minutes straight. And I made my connecting flight literally as homeboy had his hand on the door, was about to close the door. I ran up and got on that flight and made it home. Am I going to do that this time? Probably not, but we'll see. We'll see. I'll keep y'all posted. Let's get it.
All right, y'all. I mean, what else is there to say? I'm just going to keep saying it until you get it, y'all. Bread and butter. Now, this is a unique interaction, as this is typically the bell that is rang to try to corral people to get back into the session. Here you'll see I love to get the cell phone taking a picture of what's happening shot. I just think that it conveys that the attendee was engaged and wanted to remember what was being said. And here I am just getting some more shots of the speaker on stage. And with a quick time check, y'all, it's already 4:15. Like, we are rocking and rolling. We're getting that bread and butter. And we about to close this thing out strong. Getting just a different vantage point over here. And y'all, we are almost at the finish line. And of course, last but not least, y'all, we got to wrap it up with some group shots. Now, I'm not going to lie, they were heavily backlit, so I believe I had my flash at full power. But y'all, like, this is it. This is corporate photo done well. If you can do this, you can get the bag. And speaking of bag, I am packing all of my camera gear in my airport travel bag. Now, if you'll notice, you'll see my 70 to 200 sticking vertically. That's one of the big reasons why I love this bag. A lot of bags aren't deep enough to have a 70 to 200 stand up, and that's a huge space saver when you're talking about shooting photo and video around the country. Like, you need every inch of space in that bag, and this bag has space in spades, man. I love it. I love it. I love it. Highly recommended.
Quick updates. My flight got delayed by 2 hours, and I am 100% not going to be making it home tonight. So my flight isn't going to make it till Atlanta until 11 o'clock p.m. I'm going to have to grab a hotel, and then my next flight that I got booked on leaves tomorrow morning at 7:30 a.m. So I'll probably wake up about 5:30 and head to the airport. So once you guys start traveling, this will become a reality. You're not going to make every single flight. You'll probably make about 90% of your flights, maybe 95%. But 1 out of every 10, I'd say 1 out of every 20, you're not going to make. It's going to get severely delayed because of weather in another city, and the plane that you're supposed to be on has not arrived yet. There's a million things that could go wrong, quote unquote. So anyway, I'm about to hop in this Uber. It's going to be an hour ride back to the airport because of traffic. It was only 20 minutes coming here last night. I'll catch you guys at the airport.
This is Grand Prix.
Yeah, okay. In 10 days, the Grand Prix is going to be nice.
But other side, the Montreal is nice.
Yes.
Just you watch only this side.
Yeah, this weather is interesting. But it's been a nice trip so far.
But there is 2 weeks jazz festival in June, the end of June.
There's a jazz festival.
A lot of Americans come here.
Oh.
They start 10 o'clock till 4 o'clock in the morning. Everybody beer, drink,
Wow.
love. Yeah.
Okay. I did not know Montreal had a jazz festival. What up, y'all? So I'm here at the airport. Of course, it is 7:33. My plane was supposed to be boarding right now, but they said that the crew for my plane is not here yet. So hopefully we will begin boarding at 8 o'clock. The good news is that I did talk to them, and they said that once I touch down in Atlanta around 11-ish, 11:15, that they'll be able to get me a hotel for the night. I probably will not get to that hotel until around midnight, maybe even 12:30 is my guess. And then my flight tomorrow morning leaves at 7:30 a.m. Yada, yada, yada. So it just feels like sometimes when there's trips like this where something gets delayed, it's never just one thing. It doesn't just get delayed, once. It will get delayed 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. You have to switch planes, change your trip, do this. It just seems like, I kid you not, once you get that first notification that your flight is delayed, I swear it's like the dominoes just start falling. About 17 dominoes have fallen, and I'll be home tomorrow morning, probably about 10 a.m. Anyway, y'all, I will hit you guys up in the morning, and we will debrief once I am driving on the way home tomorrow morning.
Woo. All right, y'all. Man, we made it back home. Side note, I am incredibly exhausted. I think I got 2.5 hours of sleep last night. But man, finally made it home. Right now it is 9:55 a.m. and your boy is back in Houston, man. So let's recap now. We had a flight to Baltimore. We shot a day and a half or a day and 3/4 of an event there. We hopped on another flight to Montreal that had a layover. Got to Montreal at midnight. We shot in Montreal from 8 until about closer to 5 because the event ran a little bit late. Flight gets delayed. We fly from Montreal to Atlanta. We have to get a hotel there. We get to bed super, super late. And then of course we wake up this morning and we are back home. Now, this might seem like a lot, but for the amount of money that was made compared to what most people make per month, yeah, it's worth it. Now, it wasn't ideal, but I will say that most events don't overlap like this. Most events don't, land to where it ends perfectly and you have like a 3-4 hour window to catch a flight. Most events don't happen like that. For me, I would say it probably happens 3 to 4 times a year where you have 2 completely unrelated events, 2 completely different clients who just so happen to book events, and you just so happen to be able to catch a flight without having to rush or speed or more specifically, without having to let the client know that you have to leave their event because you have to get to another client. Neither of these clients knew where I was before, during, or after. All they know is that they hired me, I showed up, I executed, and then I left. Anyway, guys, thanks for riding with me on this trip. I have been gone since Monday, so man, it's Friday now. I am very, very excited to get home to my family, my wife and my kids. Gonna take some rest and take the rest of the day off. Listen, if you enjoy content like this, if you enjoy seeing what it's like to be a traveling, corporate photo and video professional, man, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. Go ahead and share this with your crew. And you already know, y'all, let's get it. Let's get this corporate bag. Keep shooting.